Hey guys! In this video I want to talk to you about who I think some of the best counters for the cancer that is invading the game right now, Ronin. He's just been nerfed a little bit, but he still runs rampant throughout the game, and I want to share my top 5 picks of who deals with him the best. So let's get straight into it. Coming in at number 5, we have one of the more interesting counters to Ronin, Blot. Blot is up here because of his super ability alone. With it, he's able to travel underneath Ronin and trap him in place so that the rest of the team is able to melt him down very efficiently. The biggest problem with this strategy, however, is that the rest of your team needs to be alive, and you have to time it very, very well so that everyone's around him. Blot himself can deal massive damage to Ronin with his basic attack, especially when you get headshots. However, you need to time his super really, really well in order to pull off a successful 1v1. Next up, coming in at number 4, we have a defender who fits the job pretty well, Bobbler. So with his super, also the reason why he's here, is that you can easily trap Ronin in a bubble so that you and the rest of your team can slowly melt away at him until he's no longer a problem. This counter previously had one of the highest rates of success for me. However, when you focus him in his bubble, if you trap him while he has full health, you have to focus him for a very long time, and it can take multiple characters to get him down, which can lead to massive holes in your defense when he's along with other characters. So while this is really good for countering Ronin in himself, when he's coupled with 2, 3, or sometimes even one other person, your defense can absolutely melt and you can lose a tower doing this, which is not worth it at all. The recent nerf to Ronin's health pool can help mitigate some of the downsides to this strategy, which can put Bobbler safely at number 4. However, it is definitely not as good of a counter as the top 3 because they offer much more functionality in the rest of the game, and you don't have to focus him for a very long time. So, past Bobbler, coming in at number 3, we have my favorite defender, the Boss. Now, I just recently got him for myself, and I absolutely love him. When Ronin, or pretty much anyone else, gets near him, you just fire off his super, and you absolutely melt away, and that's all he really needs to do. He has fantastic close range damage and some slight long range damage, so you can guarantee at least one massive dent in Ronin before you die, which is much better than the worst outcomes of the previous 2. And in the best case scenario with the Boss, you can completely melt Ronin in less than 2 seconds, something which the previous 2 struggle with and need help doing. So up past the Boss, coming in at number 2, we have one of my favorites, Rip and Fin. So his basic attacks allow him to push enemies back slightly, which can come in handy a little bit, but the real reason he's really good at countering Ronin is his super. With it, he's able to easily push Ronin straight off the map, provided that Ronin doesn't have his dash attack charged up. With the recent nerf, it's possible to do this much more consistently, and with his exceptional damage output at long range, Fin is a fantastic option for dealing with Ronin as long as you can see him coming. So before I get to the number 1 counter, I just want to go through some honorable mentions. Somebody who is able to work, though it might be a bit more difficult, is Avalanche, when you can trap him in your ice prison. We also have 2 who work in a very similar way. Let's see if I can find them. Lord VR, where you can actually turn into Ronin and sort of counter him using his own strategy. Or Inferno, who's able to make a duplicate, and so he can make his own Ronin, and so then you can have an extra character fighting him. Next up, we have DJ Equalizer. Let's see if I can find him down here, who can stun Ronin for a very long time and allow the team to melt away, though I do not think this is as effective as the previous 4 that I mentioned. And then lastly, somebody else who can work, though it is not as safe as a bet, is Mimi, who can put up a wall, and if placed correctly, it can prevent him from getting on your side. However, you're still going to have to deal with killing him at this point. However, now that we got through all of the beta squad, it's time to go on to the magical number 1. So this fragger is an absolute monster throughout the entire game. Currently my favorite character to play with, Crystal. So with her super, she can fly up into the air, then come down and inflict massive damage along with a really good stun that can single-handedly completely shut down Ronin and anybody else pushing right near him once and for all, completely shut them down. She's also able to hit him from really far away with her basic attack, so you can deal very good damage before he even gets close to you. She's really hard to come by, really rare, but her massive damage and her fantastic utility make her an excellent addition to pretty much any team and can make her easily the best and most consistent counter to Ronin. She's worked pretty much every time I've tried to use her against him, as long as I land my super correctly. So, thanks so much for watching. Leave your top picks in the comments down below, like, subscribe, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.